Kurt Bardella and Malik Abdul. Guys, welcome back. Malik, I'll start with you. Do you think President Trump has turned conservatives against helping Ukraine?
No. I don't think so at all. I think that Donald Trump is actually articulating what not just many Republicans feel, but many Americans are feeling about how we're funding for Ukraine. Biden just said that 2/3 of the money, meaning 40 of the $60 billion that is slated for Ukraine, that's actually going to go to the military-industrial complex. Biden said that we're going to be in Ukraine for as long as it takes. People are now seeing that we're funding Ukraine while a lot of domestic priorities are not being taken care of here. And I think that that is what Donald Trump is, for political reasons, obviously, is articulating. It's not this is just being led by Donald Trump. He's actually tapping into a sentiment the American people are seeing as far as our funding.
Malik, I'm so glad you said that. Kurt, do you think the focus on domestic issues, which is what Trump wants instead of these foreign aid policies, is helping his campaign?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good case to make it. And this has always been the issue when it comes to foreign aid, foreign spending of any kind, right? We have problems at home. Why is the defense budget in general so much more than the domestic budget? I mean, this is the case that Democrats used to make when we were talking about funding the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, it's kind of a role reversal now, where all of a sudden it's Republicans going like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are we spending millions of dollars in other countries when we want to secure our southern border, when we want to deal with the issues at home? And now Democrats are the ones saying, well, this is a fight about democracy. This is bigger than just what's going on in Ukraine. We live at a time where we don't just have borders. We have a global community. What happens over there affects us here. It's ironic how much the rhetoric from each party has completely reversed.
I want to show you, too, and of course our viewers at home, a recent poll. About 41% of Americans believe that we're giving too much to Ukraine. The same amount say the U.S. is giving the right amount of aid to Israel. Moving on, a total of 74% of Americans view the Russia-Ukraine war as important to U.S. interests. So now with the foreign aid bill being held up in Congress, how is the public responding, Malik?
Yeah, so part of the challenge is that the foreign policy typically doesn't factor a whole lot into presidential election cycles. It will maybe somewhat be a factor this time around because of what we're dealing with the economy. That does seem to be getting better, but there are issues that many people have with just how we're funding for Ukraine. We had Janet Yellen, our Treasury Secretary, go over there, and she said that we're going to be funding their firefighters, their teachers, their medical professionals, and people are like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. And so I think when you have that as an overarching issue where people are concerned about the domestic politics, but then we're seeing even in Israel, and you saw that split. Well, one thing is okay for Ukraine, but maybe one thing is actually okay for Israel. I think that type of dynamic that we're seeing in our politics speaks to, I would argue, is the Israeli lobby in the country and what that has done as opposed to like funding for Ukraine.
There's no AIPAC for Ukraine here in the United States, politically speaking.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that's absolutely a reasonable point to make. And again, I think it's just a lot easier to say the money being spent over here could instead be spent right here, right now. And I think every average person watching goes like, oh, yeah, I can wrap my arms around what that means. That makes total sense. So it's a bit tougher. I do think that Texas Republican Dan Crenshaw, congressman, makes the good point, though, for Ukraine, which is it could potentially be a lot more expensive later on if we do not help Ukraine shore itself up right now in this moment. Because if there is more conflict, if Putin does eventually go beyond Ukraine, if he's successful right now, that's going to cost us a lot of money, too, later.
Our previous guest, General Kimmett, actually wrote that in his op-ed, so it's a great point. Kurt, Malik, don't go too far. Thank you, gentlemen.